Hey guys, it's Serge from SergeWorks, and today I wanted to talk to you about getting your first job as a 3D artist. Let's do this. Now, it might not come as a surprise to you that the main ingredient to this is your portfolio. Whoa, wait a minute. You trying to say that I can't just friend like a supervisor from APC and get a job like this? Do I necessarily have to have a good portfolio? Well, this is one way of doing it, but we'll touch on it a little bit later. But seriously, the most important thing is your own portfolio. None of the graduation diplomas matter that much. You can put that on the wall in the toilet. I'm serious. When it comes to portfolio, what I'd like to suggest is you shouldn't spread yourself thin. What I mean by that is instead of making like 5 or 10 pieces or whatever, whether that's models or animation tests, just do a couple, 3, and work on them and polish them to the point that you're really happy with it. The second point would be then networking and putting yourself out there. So use whatever social media that you have, whether that's Facebook groups, Instagram, definitely 3D forums. Put your stuff out there and get some feedback to the point that maybe if you're really serious, just ask people, hey, be brutal with me. I'm thick-skinned, and you get some feedback. It's best to get the feedback from not only your peers, because I'll be honest, it doesn't help. It's best if you get it from more experienced people than you are. It's always nice to get praise and likes, but it doesn't give you work. I just want to make a small example. Let's say you're interested in Transformers and you're intimidated by the difficulty of the project, and you're thinking, well, it's going to take me months and stuff like that. Nowadays, many objects, let's say as an example, watches, some of them look like full-on high-tech Transformers. So if you approach that and it is a challenge to you to create one, do that instead of a transformer. It will take you less time and will be potentially as challenging. And a lead in the company should generally be able to see that you have similar knowledge that you apply to the small object that you will apply to a bigger object. If you model a table, you will model a chair. So that's the same approach. And I'm not simplifying and saying, hey, if you model the watch, you can model a transformer. But what I'm saying is, if you used a particular techniques to model a complicated watch, yes, given the right tools, concept designs, and references, you are able to build a robot. Yes, you are. But it's not to say, to the same extent, if you model, let's say, an ear, then you can model a full character. In this case, it will show you that you can model really good ears, but then the person doesn't see that you can model the whole character. But these are different things. Going back to networking, you should do research and find the companies that you like in your own country. It's not that difficult to actually, through LinkedIn and other means, find the people who are in these companies and maybe slowly start engaging with these people, maybe asking for their honest advice. And I don't mean stalking people. In the long term, you'll be some sort of acquaintances with them and they'll give you some feedback. And this is where it can actually help, because the competition is so great these days. And sometimes when a company needs someone, that lead could be like, hey, I actually know of a guy. He's junior. I talked to him on the forums and he's pretty good. It could literally work this way. Sometimes a word of mouth is much more valuable to the company than just these random applications that come through the door. Because they'll be like, hey, John, do you know this guy? Oh, yes, I do. I talked to him for the last 6 months. He's a nice guy. You might not be the best, but John's word could mean so much more. So this means, yes, it could actually work out for the better when you know the right people. You still have to be good, but potentially you will have an advantage versus the people who are just firing resumes just directly to the company. They might be better, but John knows you, if you know what I mean. When you're ready to apply and you have your demo reel or a bunch of images, which is a subject on its own, I don't want to discuss it in this video, but research the companies that you have in your own city, country, and then please personalize emails. And I don't mean make it completely different, but don't make like one template and send it to 50 companies. If you have some names, put it there, and maybe names of the companies in a good context. And also keep in mind that nobody owes you anything. Be nice, polite. Don't just say, hey, my name is John, I like apples, give me a job. Nobody cares about that. The industry, as much as it feels that it's really huge, it's very small. Everybody knows everybody. Now let's say you send out your email to 50 companies, and then be prepared that you might only hear back from 2. Now my advice would be not to stress right away. People literally could be busy, or maybe your portfolio is not good enough. Most likely it means your portfolio is not good enough, but it could also be bad timing. So what I would suggest doing is follow-up emails. Don't just follow up on the next day, but maybe wait like a week, potentially do another piece, and you can follow up and say, hey, I've just improved on my model. I was wondering if you had a chance to review my portfolio. Here's an updated model. It will give you a chance for you to send them email again, and also they will see, hey, he has improved on that. Saying that you don't have to necessarily improve your model just yet, but after a follow-up, if you still don't get any emails back, then it means you have to go back to the drawing board and improve your models, or maybe start from scratch and do a completely new model. Also, be prepared to actually move for the job. Maybe you live in a country where there's only 2 companies. Maybe they're completely not what you want to do. So yes, be prepared if you have an opportunity to do so. If you don't have any commitments just yet, you don't have a wife, kids, it's much easier for you to travel around, and it will give you so much experience in a different country, as well as landing your first job is so important. Your growth becomes so exponential in the company. If you compare it to sitting behind your desk with a book on your lap, it's so different, because when you're in company, you have time constraint, you have all these experienced people around you that are willing to help and will help you, so you learn exponentially. I think this is all what I wanted to say in this video. If you guys like this kind of content and you'd like me to talk more on similar subjects, please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. As always, please like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. Also subscribe to my newsletter to keep updated, and find other links like Gumroad page in my description as well. Okay, thanks guys, and until next time, bye bye.